Hello, everyone. Sorry, I did not immediately notice how quickly. I did not notice how when the ad break ended. My bad. Hello, everyone. My name is Vesper Fortune, that Fortune Witch of Fate. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. As everybody can tell, I am using my webcam tonight because I'm making the disgusted faces unintentionally. Hope everyone's doing fine and alright. I hope the snow hasn't hit everyone too badly. Give me just one moment. I have to... Oh wait, my fan is over there, so it's not doing much of a noise thing. I hope I won't make too much. I think it's fine. I think I've tested... it's been tested and approved that I don't... That the doors are not... talking is an entire thing. wait. Talking is an entire thing, and so is finding words. Oh, and music's still super loud. I'm good. Escape from the cold. It's been more rainy than snowy, so what I'm expecting is we're going to have ice tomorrow. I know the nieces, I think the nieces are either called out or they're doing virtual. It's still snowing here. Ooh. Probably not gonna stop until tomorrow. I hope the power doesn't go out though. We need you. We need you for Heroes of Heterodoxy. By the way, everyone, that's coming back tomorrow. Let me get you a shout out, Chef, so that everyone can go follow you so we can have everyone already prepared for that. Everyone can please go follow Awuga. And also because I will be on Heroes of Heterodoxy tomorrow playing my little bone freak, Phantoma. Greetings, salutations, and furthermore, frozen assets for those of you who had to go out for a good reason. I admire your bravery. Those of you who went out today because you felt like it. What the name of Walt Whitman's riding lawnmower is on with you. One and else, hi, hello, RX, how are you today? Welcome in. I hope the snowstorm is treating you well. The damage here has been overestimated. Reading. Ooh. Is there a manga tonight, Delilah? And if so, which one? I don't get snow or ice, but it was cold. I've been wearing my sweater all day, and I will be immediately jumping to the shower after stream because I took my shower midday yesterday, and I don't bathe twice a day. I only bathe once a day. So, I'm feeling, well, nothing bad has particularly happened. I haven't worked out or anything. I do still feel gross when I go, like, a long time without the bathing. And thank you for the care package, Galaxy. Welcome in. Is everyone wanting to be all cozy and stuff and want to read Dracula with me tonight? Occasionally we get ice, but not often. Yeah, that's what I'm expecting, is that it's mostly gonna be ice tomorrow on the roads. I almost had the perfect day at work. It was 5 minutes to close and someone walked up and I had my first customer. I was doing a whole shift without having to deal with anyone. Oh god, that sounds so perfect. That sounds so perfect, oh my god. Listen, as someone who used to work at the Buck Corporal, I have never had a shift where there was no one. That sounds amazing. But I had my regulars. My regulars were pretty swell. Honestly, if it wasn't for my coworkers, I would have continued working there. Like, honestly, everyone thinks it's customers. It depends. It depends, because, But for me, for most of my jobs, it has been my coworkers who have been the problem. My regulars are pretty swell most of the time. Like, I had a lady who I helped pay off the rest of her groceries, and she like worshipped me after, even though it was only like what, even if I remember correctly, it was only like 15 bucks I paid for, and let's see here. And I had this one dude who came in, and he was like, I love that you're so casual. I'm like, I can be casual with you, you're nice. It was beautiful. I got my work done, and nobody bothered me except that last person. And, let's see here. I have a weather report that has a side of innuendo, if that's okay. I would actually love it more if it was an innuendo with a side of weather report. But I'll take what I can get. Sadly, where I worked, I couldn't do much, but wait, also dancing platy. I can't wait for tomorrow. And not to mention, tomorrow is when Ralphie finally gets to play. So we get to see Ralphie's character. Yeah, and finally I can be a little more weird since we will have another balance. But however, I do think I'm going to end up being the lead for this session, because I can speak Goblin, and we're going into the Goblin camp, which I don't think will be going much better than going into the Kobold Enclave. Delilah, you're talking about someone who can knit without looking at her hands. I think it's more Delilah is probably was not allowed to like do stuff. Or like Delilah couldn't bring in stuff, because I know plenty of jobs where like you can't bring in shit, or you're only allowed to like wait. And also I just want to say something. If your job is like doesn't allow you to like have like little micro breaks, and like people get on your ass for being on your phone when you have nothing to do, I think you might need to look into another job. Because that was one of the problems I had with Grocery Town, is that we weren't allowed micro breaks. And like, here's the thing, I think everyone like needs like little micro breaks to like stay sane, especially in like such a fast-paced environment. Because like when I worked at Grocery City, when I was like the deli hot bar person, I always had something to do most of the time. But when I didn't, I was like, listen, I need peace, I need quiet. Doesn't count if my job tries, but I decline because I'm a stubborn bitch. Also, Ning's my stress manager. I often down the clock even when it's busy, as long as there's nothing for me to immediately do, just to stay sane. Understandable. Also, hello, Vampy. How are you tonight? Welcome in. Wow, we have everyone tonight. It's really nice seeing everyone. It's really nice, even though I know it might be because it's cold out. Cozy time. Don't want to go out. Me looking over my emails every 10 minutes, hoping to see a response from side game support because I don't want to lose my save data. What? I had. Or is like side games like did your game like crash or something and like totally delete everything almost? Because yeah, that would be pretty painful. Especially if you spend money, because I know side games makes gachas. So like yeah, that's pretty important. Snicker. Let's see. I just got home from work. I feel kind of bad for you because apparently it's cold all day and rock jobs put her outside. Oh no. Yeah, no. Feels I'm streaming without my fan on and it feels so weird. I uninstalled Luma at one point and tried out Limbus. Now I reinstalled now and I can't link my account back for some reason. Ugh. Also, what did you think of Limbus? I have to try Limbus because it's part of the entire lobotomy core world. Like I have lobotomy core, I have Library of Runa. So when I finally get back to either of those two fucking games, lobotomy core is also pretty was once a stream game, but I decided I had to restart. It's neat. I don't get my Uma account. I'll get back to it. Nice. I've heard pretty good things about it. One of my friends, she doesn't stream as much anymore. But I think, if I remember correctly, she found me through Lobotomy Core, and she's often a Limbus player. You'll be the type of guy who sleeps with the fan while the temperature drops into the negatives. It is because fans have always been my white noise machine. I cannot sleep without a fan, and like it's like my number one hellscape of hotels is because I don't bring my fan. You can't pack away a fan. like in a hotel, I have to sleep with probably like the heater or the air conditioning on because I need white noise. Or oh, I did not see it. I lost you, RX, in all the chat. I'm not a good chatter. So we got a solid 16 inches today. I do wonder if you can handle 16 inches or if that's on your bucket list. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, I haven't tried. I've written about it, but I haven't tried, so to say. Snow, of course. Snow, we do it for Vegas because when it's hot, the AC tries to keep up. Ah. But that is how much snow we got. Ooh, nice. Well, not nice. I like looking at snow. But, oh, I probably need to start storing some certain things away from my clothes. That's what I need to fucking do. No one needs to know what I'm talking about. It's all powder. Even now, it's basically all powder. Also wushu wushu. I don't get to be as cute because my eyes are my eyes are a little more my eye tracking is a little bit different on my webcam. So I just look up at the head and go, the claw. The claw. I still have about 6 inches of snow in the driveway to get to work today. 6 inches is more manageable. True. True. I want to say things. There are things I want to say. But I can't be saying those things because I'm a freak. I'm a freak. Beep beep in a Jeep. And I'm a freak on a leash, but the person holding my leash is me. And I kinda have to stay on that leash. I shouldn't be saying shit like this while I'm being petted. Oh wait, I never stretched from Galaxy. I drank from Galaxy Prime 13, but I did not stretch. Hold on. Save it for after hours. After hours chat. Look at the 7 inches of snow. Snow. Oh wait, no, that's not what I want. Hold up. Oh, no. Where is my... Hold up. Oh. Blue Twitch Fest for channel, but it's just weather-based innuendos, right? I can't get the pet. I can't get the hand. I cannot remove the hand. Oh no. Oh wait, that might be why. Hold up. There we go. I was like, oh no, I can't remove the hand. Oh wait, I have number lock on. Oh wait, I have number lock on. Looks kind of cozy now. She's preparing for a death match with the Mantis Lords again. I tell Locke I wish her the best of luck. Also, we are almost 30 minutes into stream, which means time for me to get ready. Yeah, I fixed desktop audio, I think, hopefully. I'm a freak. Beep beep. In my Jeep. Snoop Doggy Dogg on the stereo. Whoa. I don't remember the rest of the words. To California girls. Whoa. Come on. Thank you. Make YouTube a separate page. Oh. Yeah, 9-hour mix. Thank you. Thank you, Elemental Soundworks, for providing all of my Dracula. All my Dracula music. Should we keep on this one? It has whispers in it. Surprised it's not a fan. She gave me a thumbs up. She's tried a few times, hasn't succeeded yet. She's been yelling, "Today is the day," the whole time getting to her ear. Me, when I finally try a chaotic alliance raid, I really need to get back into that. I need my glam. I need my glam, guys, but I'm also I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I need to literally set aside a day in order to do chaotic alliance raid, which is, for those of you who don't know, chaotic is the harder version of a singular alliance raid fight from Final Fantasy XIV. And the very first one was released with Dawn Trail, well, a few months after Dawn Trail, in a patch. And the first one was, unfortunately, fucking Cloud of Darkness. And they put in elements of her second fight from Eden, Savage, where there's fucking tiles that will drop you to your doom. And hey, when there's 24 people, that's kind of horrible. So I've seen Enrage once. And I haven't gone back. It's just been horrible. However, now that the latest tier is out, I'm getting new gear. I'm just like, I should go back. I have to go back eventually. This is my Moby Dick. This is my white whale. I'm Ishmael and I need my glam. I'm Ishmael and I need my glam. Okay, we were on chapter 13? Question mark? Chapter 13, yeah. Okay, hold on. Now let me... The clam cry never ends. Listen, you have to save me. This is chaotic is horrifying. There's an entire mechanic that throws people across the arena. You switch places with a person across the arena. Yeah, you switch places with somebody. That's really the only mechanic where I would be like, okay, this makes it a savage. But like, yeah, you switch places with another person across the arena. And you have very little control over who it is. Like, you're supposed to have a general idea. But let me tell you something that happened once before I go in, a story time. So I was doing this chaotic alliance raid, and I tend to put myself on the inside because, funnily enough, doing the tiles is easy. Being the team on the inside is easy. But I was doing tiles. And the part where people switch places comes up. It literally switched me with the healer who was on the tile. Like we're on, we're at the cross section. We're at this, where the tiles meet. So, there's the corner tile, and then there's 2 tiles on both sides of it. And I was on the bottom tile, and the healer was on the east tile. Well, I was on the south tile. Healer on the east tile. We switch places. We're supposed to be switching places with the people on the outside. We're supposed to be switching places with people on the outside. No, we just switch places with each other. Yeah. It doesn't really matter. Everyone's supposed to know how to do everything in that fight anyway, so it's just a matter of, okay, well, this has happened. Guess we gotta work with it. I can't watch Rock play Hollow Knight, partly because I don't want to backseat, and partly because sometimes things will happen in a game that will leave me silently asking, Girly Pop, what are you even doing? Same. I was actually watching Xander, my Oshi. Xander, my Oshi. He was playing No, I'm Not a Human. And I don't normally catch Xander live. However, he was not listening to the radio. He was not, he was looking out the windows, but he was not listening to the radio. And I'm sitting here trying not to back grab this man through the screen. Why aren't you listening to the radio, my man? Why aren't you listening to the radio? And also, there are some days where you have to watch the TV 3 times. We had to watch the TV twice, and sometimes he didn't. Side note, the convo Yumi and Sola had a couple days ago about MTG may have inspired me to rebuild my mono black vampires deck. Oh no. Oh no, I'm already having issues dealing with both of Silver's decks, and now you're out here rebuilding vampire mono black. Well, let's see how Vampire Mono Black deals with my black-white vampire deck. Or my black-white bat-pyre. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, Batpire. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, Batpire. I need to finish my colorless Eldrazi deck. Ooh, I plan on doing... I'm not sure if I'm going to make a whole Phyrexian deck. But I think some Phyrexians are going to make it into my vampire deck. Well, my bat vampire deck. She knew she would have looked in the body's direction after killing it. Probably the most questionable choice to me, where I can give her some credit. She got the infected crossroads up. She didn't know that infected Vengefly Kings explode when you kill them. It's mostly because I need at least one in Chimera deck. That's one color, and I already have one Ruberg and one RG. Oh my god. I seem to be stuck in white. You know, white, black, and one of my duo decks is going to be white, blue, because I like to be toxic. Just openly, I want to make the most Perez Hilton of decks. I think blue-white's perfect for it. I need to make a deck that makes Chernobyl look like it's just a blip on a radioactivity radar. I need someone to look at my deck and go, that it breaks Geneva conventions. Literally, she killed it. She stood there for a second and then took a couple steps towards it, and I have yelled, they explode before it went off, and she didn't have time to get out of range. The gist of her response was that second of silence and then saying, that was rude. Ah yes, the white-blue color combo that has 9 million different ways of shutting down the board. Ah yes, you either spend that mana or you give me stuff. That's how it's gonna work. And I will keep all my little creatures safe. One thing I have noticed in Magic the Gathering Arena, I know I'm supposed to be reading right now, but one thing I've noticed in Magic the Gathering Arena, no one's prepared for flyers. You make flyers and people just say like, oh, the fuck am I supposed to do? You just have a couple of flyers, you just shut down half of MTG Arena. Hope you like my take on Veruca Salt. Felt really on brand for her in red. Nice. Yes, I did. I'll just go, just Bible for it. I'm going to go out on lit and say she won. Detain. Ooh. I'm sorry, everyone. I know we're supposed to be reading. Give me a second, though. I'm being toxic. Till your next turn, that permanent can't attack or block, and its activated abilities cannot be active. Ooh. Okay, okay. I think I've seen some of these. Yeah, I think I've seen Faith's fetters. Okay. We're having fun, that matters. Yeah, I like just chatting with you guys. But okay, we're on to more Dr. Seward bullshit. That's okay. I tried to open Steam, didn't log me out of the laptop. Oh no, that sounds wonky. Chapter 13, Dr. Seward's Diary continued. Oh, wait, I need to do the last time on Dragon Ball Z. Okay, so, we had the back and forth of Lucy. We had the back and forth of Lucy being healed by by Dr. Van Helsing and, John Seward. And we had the return of Morris and Arthur. And Arthur is like, oh my love. So like all the boys are here. Nina don't know shit right now. And Lucy has officially been turned into... and Lucy has been officially turned. Lucy has been officially turned down into the coffin. She'd be a vampire now. I heard Dr. Seuss's diary continues. Seward, Seuss. No, I could understand why you heard that. Do I even have my closed captioning on? Yeah, it's enabled. I'm not using it, it's fine. Don't worry, they're wrong most of the time, because I cannot enunciate. I would not, could not with a vampire. I would not, could not buy a campfire. I cannot eat this vampire. And hold on, wait. I cannot, I guess we can only go perverted from here. I cannot eat this vampire out here. Eat out this vampire here. Nor can I eat out this vampire there. Actually, technically... Yeah, I could, honestly. Anyway, here's Wonderwall. Anyway, here's Wonderwall, or Dracula, I mean. Chapter 13, Dr. Seward's Diary continued. The funeral was arranged for the next succeeding day so that Lucy and her mother might be buried together. I attended to all the ghastly formalities, and the urbane undertaker proved that his staff were afflicted or blessed with something of his own obsequious suavity. Even the woman who performed the last offices for the day remarked to me, in a confidential, rather professional way, when she come out from the death chamber. She makes a very beautiful corpse, sir. It's a privilege to attend on her. It's not too much to say that she will do credit to our establishment. Notice that Van Helsing never kept far away. This was possible from the disordered state of things in the household. There were no relatives at hand, and as Arthur had to be back the next day to attend to his father's funeral, we were unable to notify anyone who should have been bidden. Under the circumstances, Van Helsing and I took it upon ourselves to examine papers, etc. He insisted upon looking over Lucy's papers himself. I asked him why, for I feared he, being a foreigner, might not be aware of English legal requirements, and so might in ignorance make some unnecessary trouble. He answered for me. I know. You forget that I am a lawyer as well as a doctor. But this is not altogether for the law. You knew that when you avoided the coroner. I should more than him to avoid. There may be papers more, such as this. As he spoke, he took from his pocketbook the memorandum which had been in Lucy's breast, which she had torn in her sleep. When you find anything of the solicitor who is for the late Mrs. Westerna, steal all her papers and write him tonight. For me. For me, I watch here in the room and in Miss Lucy's old room all night. I myself search for what may be. It's not well that her very thoughts go to the hands of strangers. I went on with my part of the work, and in another half hour found the name and address of Mrs. Westerner's solicitor had written to him. All the poor lady's papers were in order. Explicit directions regarding the place of burial were given. I hardly sealed the letter when, to my surprise, Van Helsing walked into the room, saying, "Can I help you, John? I am free. If I may, my service is to you." "You got what you looked for?" I asked, to which he replied, "I did not look for any specific thing, only hoped to find, and I find I have, all that there was. Only some letters and a few memoranda, and a diary new begun. But I have them here, and we shall, for the present, say nothing of them. I shall see that poor lad tomorrow evening. With his sanction, I shall use some." New donation from 16, a solid 16 inches of snow. How many inches was Venom? 19? A whole 19 inches of Venom? Venom, snow, what's next? Do you think you can handle me? Only one way to find out. You, me, in a 5-star Luxembourg resort. That was a very well-timed organ. Straight out of my nightmares. I was like down for it until you mentioned the Luxembourg resort. Now I'm like... I think I'll exploring deepness. She's explored more than I have. Probably because her first entry was falling from directions she couldn't just climb back out of. Ah. I can't wait to play to... when will my next Hollow Knight playthrough will be? Oh, that might be, Thursday at earliest. Oh my god. I have something planned on Tuesday. A solid 16 inches of snow. I'm very glad to have gotten all the my Weaver song pets from Deep Nest. Now I can officially start on the pet build. Though I'm not sure if I'm going to go full pet build or not. When we finished the work in hand, he said to me, "And now, my friend John, I think we made to bed. We want sleep, both you and I, to rest, to recuperate. Tomorrow, we shall have much to do, but for the tonight, there is no need of us, alas." Before turning, we went to look at poor Lucy. The Undertaker certainly had done his work well. The room was turned into a small chapelle ardente. There was a wilderness of beautiful white flowers, and death was made as little repulsive as might be. The end of the winding sheet was laid over the face. When the professor bent over and turned it gently back, we both started at the beauty before us. Tall wax candles showing off sufficient light to note it well. All Lucy's loveliness had come back to her in death. Now as that had passed, instead of leaving traces of decay's effacing fingers, had but restored the beauty of life. because positively I could not believe my eyes that I was looking at a corpse. The professor looked sternly grave. He had not loved her as I had. There was no need for tears in his eyes. He said to me, "Remain until I return," and left the room. He came back with a hand. Hold on. He came back with a handful of wild garlic from the box waiting in the hall, but which had not been opened, and placed the flowers amongst the others and around the bed. Then he took from his neck, inside his collar, a little gold crucifix and placed it over the mouth. He was to sword the sheet to its place, and we came away. I was undressing in my own room when, with a premonitory tap at the door, he entered, and at once began to speak. "Tomorrow I want you to bring to me, before night, a set of post-mortem knives." "Must we make an autopsy?" I asked. "Yes and no. I want to operate, but not as you think. Let me tell you now, but not a word to another. I want to cut off her head and take out her heart. Ah, you a surgeon, and so shocked. You whom I have seen with no tremble of hand or heart do operations of life and death that make the rest shudder. Oh, but I must not forget, my dear John, that you loved her. Had not forgotten it. For it is I that shall operate, and you must only help. I would like to do it tonight, but for Arthur I must not. He will be free after his father's funeral tomorrow, and he will want to see her to see it. Then when she is coffined ready for the next day, you and I shall come when all sleep. We shall unscrew the coffin lid, and we shall do our operation, and then replace all, so that none know, they we alone. But why do it all? The girl is dead. Why mutilate her poor body without need? And if there's no necessity for a post-mortem and nothing to gain by it, no good to her, to us, to science, to human knowledge, why do it? Without such it is monstrous." For answer, he put his hand on my shoulder and said, with infinite tenderness, "Friend John, I pity your poor bleeding heart, for I love you more than it does. For I love you. Friend John, I pity your poor bleeding heart, and I love you more because it does so bleed. If I could, I would take on myself the burden that you do bear. There are things that you know not, but you shall know, and bless me for knowing. Though they are not pleasant things, John, my child. You've been my friend now many years, yet did you ever know me to do without good cause? I may err, but I am man. But I believe in all I do. Was it not for these causes that you sent for me when the great trouble came? Yes. Were you not amazed, nay horrified, why I would not let Arthur kiss his love, though she was dying? Snatched him away with all my strength. Yes. And yet you saw how she thanked me with her beautiful dying eyes, her voice too so weak. And she kissed my ruffled hand and blessed me. Yes. And did you not hear me swear a promise to her, as she so closed her eyes grateful? Yes. Well, I have good reason now for all I want to do. You have for many years trusted me. You have believed me weeks past, when there were where things be so strange. You might have well doubt. Believe me yet a little, friend John. If you trust me not, then I must tell what I think. And that is not perhaps well. If I work, as work I shall, no matter trust or no trust, that my friend trusts in me. I work heavy with heart and feel, oh, so lonely when I want all help and courage that may be. He paused for a moment and went on suddenly. Friend John, there are strange and terrible days before us. Let us not be two, but one. That we work so good. Let us not be two, but one. That we so work to a good end. Will you not have faith in me? I took his hand and promised him. Held my door open. Ah! I'm waiting for another one. Is it just one? I think it's just one. I took his hand and promised him. I held my door open as he went away and watched him go into his room and close the door. As I stood without moving, I saw one of the maids pass silently along the passage. She had her back towards me, so did not see me. Go into the room where Lucy lay. The sight touched me. Devotion is so rare, and we are so grateful to those who show it unasked to those we love. Here was a poor girl putting aside the tears which she naturally had of death to go watch alone by the bier of the mistress whom she loved, so that the poor clay might not be lonely till laid to eternal rest. I must have slept long and soundly, for it was broad daylight when Van Helsing waked me by coming into my room. He came over to my bedside and said, "You need not trouble about the knives, we shall not do it." "Why not?" I asked, for his solemnity the night before had greatly impressed me. "Because," he said sternly, "it is too late. Or too early. See." Here he held up the little golden crucifix. "This was stolen in the night." "How stolen?" I asked in wonder, "since you have it now." "Because I get it back from the worthless wretch who stole it, and the woman who robbed the dead and the living. Her punishment will surely come, but not through me. She knew altogether what she did, and thus, unknowing, she only stole. Now we must wait." He went away on the word, leaving me a new mystery to think of, a new puzzle to grapple with. The forenoon was a dreary time, but at noon the solicitor came. Mr. Marquand of Holman's Sons, Marquand and Litterdale. He was very, very genial and very appreciative of what we had done, and took off our hands all cares to details. During lunch he told us that Mrs. Westerner had for some time expected sudden death from her heart. I put her affairs in absolute order. He informed us that, with the exception of certain entailed property of Lucy's father, which now, in default of direct issue, went back to a distant branch of the family, the whole estate, real and personal, was left absolutely to Arthur Holmwood. When he had told us so much, he went on. "I have unpacked some of the car and ordered dinner. I am tired of moving around, I just want to see." "Nice, what are you having for foods?" Also understandable, there was just a point where you're like, I don't want to move, I just want to put food into mouth hole and rest. Spicy rice bowl is being delivered. Nice. Classic. Frankly, we did our best to prevent such a testamentary disposition. Put out certain contingencies that might leave her daughter either penniless or not so free. She should be to act regarding a matrimonial alliance. Indeed, we pressed the matter so far that we almost came to collision, for she asked us if we were or were not prepared to carry out her wishes. Of course, we had then no alternative but to accept. We were in principle 99 times out of 100 we should approve, by the logic of events, the accuracy of our judgment. Frankly, however, I must admit that, in this case, any other form of disposition would have rendered impossible the carrying out of her wishes. For by her predeceasing her daughter, the latter would have come into possession of the property. And even if she had only survived her mother by 5 minutes, her property would, in any case, there was no will. And a will was a practical impossibility in such a case, have been treated at her decease as under intestacy. In which case Lord Godalming, though so dear a friend, would have no claim in the world, and inheritors, being remote, would not be likely to abandon their just rights. For sentimental reasons regarding an entire stranger. I assure you, my dear sirs, I am rejoiced at the result. Perfectly rejoiced. Yes, please get some rest, Silver. I got everything handled. He was a good fellow, but his rejoicing at the one little part, in which he was officially interested, of so great a tragedy was an object lesson in limitations of sympathetic understanding. I'm not going to work. I'm not going to work until 1 p.m. tomorrow. Too nice. He did not remain long, but he said he would look in later in the day and see Lord Goldeming. His coming, however, had been a certain comfort to us, since it assured that we should not have to dread hostile criticism as to any of our acts. Arthur was expected at 5 o'clock, so a little before that time we visited the death chamber. It was so in very true, for now both mother and daughter lay in it. The undertaker, true to his craft, made the best display he could of his goods. And there was a mortuary air about the place that lowered our spirits at once. Van Helsing ordered the former agent to be adhered to, explaining that as Lord Goldeming was coming very soon, it'd be less harrowing to his feelings to see that all that was left of his fiancée was quite alone. Hold on, wait. As Lord Goldeming was coming very soon, it'd be less harrowing to his feelings to see all that was left of his fiancée quite alone. The undertaker seemed shocked at his own stupidity and exerted himself to restore things to condition in which we left them the night before. So that when Arthur came, such shocks to his feelings as we could avoid were saved. And thank you for the care package, Galaxy Stretchies. I do not know why, but when I am parenthesizing, my ribs, the area around my ribs tends to hurt. I need to like wear a corset or something to fix this posture. Oh my god. Stretchy. Stretchy. Stretch. Poor fellow. He looked desperately sad and broken. Even his stalwart manhood seemed to have shrunk somewhat under the strain of his much-tried emotions. He had, and I knew, been very genuinely and devotedly attached to his father. To lose him, and at such a time, was a bitter blow to him. With me he was warm as ever, and to Van Helsing he was sweetly courteous. I could not help seeing that there was some constraint with him. The professor noticed it too, and motioned me to bring him upstairs. I did so, and left him at the door of the room, as I felt he would like to be quite alone with her. But he took my arm and led me in, saying huskily, "You loved her too, old fellow. She told me all about it. There was no friend I had a closer place in her heart than you. I don't know how to thank you for all you have done for her. I can't think yet." Here he suddenly broke down, threw his arms around my shoulders, and laid his head on my breast, crying, "Oh, Jack, Jack, what shall I do? The whole of life seems gone from me all at once. There is nothing in the wide world for me to live for." I comforted him as well as I could. In such cases, men do not need much expression. A grip of the hand, the tightening of an arm around the shoulder, a sob in unison, are expressions of sympathy dear to a man's heart. I stood still and silent till his sobs died away, and then I said softly to him, "Come and look at her." Together we moved over to the bed, and I lifted the lawn from her face. God, how beautiful she was! Every hour seemed to be enhancing her loveliness. It frightened and amazed me somewhat. As for Arthur, he fell a trembling. Finally was shaken with as much doubt as with an ague. At last, after a long pause, he said to me in a faint whisper, "Jack, is she really dead?" And I'm going to stop right there because we have ads. "Jack, is she really dead?" Bugs Bunny. Van Helsing peeking in with the Bugs Bunny face. No. No. I don't think so, my dude. I think we are so far from dead, it's kind of more of an issue. Yeah, she's sort of dead in a way. She's sort of dead in a way. Where's ads? I just want to get my water ads. Death with benefits. Lucy about to appear on Death Becomes Her. Okay, now I can go get my drink. Sorry. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm better than ever. I'm back, and I'm cooler than ever. I kind of... Hold on, wait. Maybe I should wait until, everyone comes back to say my thoughts. I should wait till everyone's back to say my thoughts. Okay, welcome back, everyone. I'm kind of liking how Lucy... I don't want to say Lucy's the main character, but I think Lucy's the main character. Like, Lucy has been our main vehicle of this journey now for a bit. Like, there's also the other characters, but Lucy has been our main vehicle for this journey. Lucy, our human dartboard of dicks, as we have called her. Um, so like, it's going to be very interesting to see how this spreads, because we haven't even seen Dracula since female protag. Can't believe Dracula is woke. We haven't seen Dracula since the Demeter. And technically we haven't actually interacted fully with Dracula since Jonathan. Like, the Demeter was entirely second-hand. Or, well, third-hand. However you really want to look at it. It was a diary. I mean, everything's diary. Everything's epistololic. But it's kind of interesting how Lucy has been our main Dracula deliverer. Is it really Dracula by Bram Stoker, or is it Lucy Westerna by Bram Stoker? Anyways, I just wanted to say that I'm kind of enjoying how most of the story is being delivered around the events of Lucy's life. Or, well, unlife at this point. I assured him sadly that it was so. I went on to suggest, for I felt that such a horrible doubt should not have life for a moment longer than I could help. It so often happened that after death, faces became softened and even resolved into their youthful beauty. This was especially so when death had been preceded by any acute or prolonged suffering. It seemed to quite do away with any doubt. After kneeling beside the couch for a while, looking at her lovingly and long, he turned aside. I told him that must be goodbye, as the coffin had to be prepared. So I went back, took her dead hand in his, and kissed it. Bent over and kissed her forehead. He came away fondly, looking back over his shoulder as he came. Looking back over her shoulder at her as he came. I left him in the drawing room, and told Van Helsing that he had said goodbye. So the latter went to the kitchen to tell all the undertaker's men to proceed with the preparations, and to screw up the coffin. When he came out of the room again, I told him of Arthur's question. He replied, "I'm not surprised. Just now I doubted for a moment myself." We all dined together, and I could see that poor Art was trying to make the best of things. Van Helsing had been quite silent all dinner time. But when we lit our cigars, he said, "Lord." But Arthur interrupted him. No, not that. For God's sake. Not yet, anyway. Forgive me, sir. I did not mean to speak offensively. It's only because my loss is so recent. I only used that name because I was in doubt. Let's not call you Mr. And I have grown to love you. Yes, my dear boy, to love you as Arthur. Arthur held out his hand and took the old man's warmly. "Tell me what you will," he said. I hope I may always have the title of a friend. You say that I'm at a loss for words to thank you for your goodness to my poor dear. Pause for a moment and on. Now that she understood your goodness even better than I do. If I was rude or in any way wanting at that time, you acted... Yeah, hold on. If I was rude or in any way wanting at the time you acted so, you remember... The professor nodded. You must forgive me. He answered with a grave kindness. I know it was hard for you to quite trust me then. But to trust such violence needs to understand. I take it that you cannot trust me for now, for you do not yet understand. There may be more times I shall want you to trust when you cannot, and may not, and must not yet understand. But the time will come when your trust shall be whole and complete in me, and when you shall understand as though the sunlight itself shone through, then you shall bless me from the first to last, for your own sake, and for the sake of others, and for her dearest sake, whom I swore to protect. And indeed, sir, Arthur said warmly. I shall always trust you. I know and believe you have a very noble heart, and you are Jack's friend, and you are hers. You shall do what you like. Professor cleared his throat a couple times as though to speak, and finally said, May I ask you something now? Certainly. You know Miss Westerner left you all her property? No, poor dear, I never thought of it. And as it is all yours, you have a right to deal with it as you will. I want you to give me permission to read all of Miss Lucy's papers and letters. Believe me, it is no idle curiosity. A motive in which, to be sure, she would have approved. I have them all here. I took them before we knew it was all yours, so that no strange hand might touch them, no strange eye look through words into her soul. I shall keep them if I may, if you may not see them yet, but I shall keep them safe. No word shall be lost, and in good time I shall give them back to you. It's a hard thing I ask, but you will do it, will you not, for Lucy's sake? Arthur spoke out heartily like his old self. Dr. Van Helsing, you may do what you will. I feel that in saying this, that I am doing what my dear one would have approved. I shall not trouble you with questions till the time comes. And the old professor stood up as he said solemnly, And you are right, there will be pain for us all. But it will not all be pain, nor will this pain be the last. We and you too, you most of all, my dear boy, have to pass through the bitter water before we reach the sweet. But we must be brave of heart, and unselfish, and do our duty. But we must be brave of heart and unselfish, and do our duty, and all will be well. I slept on a sofa in Arthur's room that night. Van Helsing did not go to bed at all. He went to and fro as if patrolling the house, and was never outside of the room where Lucy lay in her coffin, strewn with wild garlic flowers, which sent, through the odor of lily and rose, a heavy, overpowering smell into the night. Mina Harker's Journal, 22nd of September. In the train to Exeter, Jonathan sleeping. It only seems yesterday that the last entry was made. Not much between then and Whitby and all the world before me. Jonathan away and no news of him, and now married to Jonathan. Jonathan a solicitor, a partner, rich, master of his business. Mr. Hawkins dead and buried, and Jonathan with another attack that may harm him. Someday he may ask me about it. Down it all goes. I am rusty in my shorthand. See what unexpected prosperity does for us. That may as well to freshen it up again with an exercise anyhow. The service was very simple and very solemn. There were only ourselves and servants there. One or two friends of his from Exeter, his London agent, and a gentleman representing Sir John Paxton, president of the Incorporated Law Society. Jonathan and I stood hand in hand, and felt our best and dearest friend was gone from us. I want everyone to remember, Mina does not know her best friend, her girly pop, the one who knows everything about her. She does not know Lucy's dead. Mina doesn't know Lucy's dead yet. We came back to town quietly, taking a bus to Hyde Park Corner. Jonathan thought it would interest me to go to the row for a while, so we sat down. There were very few people there, and it was sad-looking and desolate to see so many empty chairs. I just think of the empty chair at home, so we got up and walked down Piccadilly. Jonathan was holding me by the arm, the way he used to in the old ways before I went to school. I felt it very improper. We can't go on for some years teaching etiquette and decorum to other girls without the pedantry of it biting into yourself a bit. But it was Jonathan, and he was my husband. And we didn't know anybody who saw us, and we didn't care if they did. So on we walked. I was looking at a very beautiful girl in a big cartwheel hat, sitting on a Victoria outside of Giuliano's, I felt Jonathan clutch my arm so tight he hurt me. He said under his breath, "My God." I'm always anxious about Jonathan, for I fear that some nervous fit may upset him again. So I turned to him quickly and asked him what it was that disturbed him. He was very pale, and his eyes seemed bulging out, as, half in terror and half in amazement, he gazed at a tall, thin man, with a beaky nose and a black mustache and a pointed beard, who was also observing the pretty girl. He was looking at her so hard that he did not see either of us, and so I had a good view of him. His face was not a good face. It was hard and cruel and sensual. His big white teeth that looked all the whiter because his lips were so red, or pointed like an animal's. Jonathan kept staring at him till I was afraid he would notice. Feared he might take it ill. He looked so fierce and nasty. I asked Jonathan why he was disturbed. He answered, evidently thinking I knew as much about it as he did. "Do you see who it is?" Why would you ever be worried for Jonathan? What are warning signs? No, we don't need to worry, nope. The man who escaped his killer, would-be killer, and now the killer's back, and he's cooler than ever. Now the killer's back, and he's younger than ever. Sorry. "No, dear," I said. "I don't know him. Who is it?" His answer seemed to shock and thrill me, but it was said as if he did not know that was to me, Mina, whom he was speaking. "It is the man himself." The portier was evidently terrified at something, very greatly terrified. I do believe that if he had not had me to lean on and to support him, he would have sunk down. He kept staring. A man came out of the shop with a small parcel and gave it to the lady, who then drove off. The dark man kept his eyes fixed on her. When the carriage moved up Piccadilly, he followed it in the same direction and hailed a hansom. Jonathan kept looking after him and said, as if to himself, "I can't believe it is Count. He has grown young. My God, if this be so, oh my God, if only I knew. He was distressing himself so much that I feared to keep his mind on the subject by asking him any question, so I remained silent. I drew him away quietly, and he, holding my arm, came easily. We walked a little further, and then went in and sat for a while in the Green Park. It was a hot day for autumn. There was a comfortable seat in a shady place. After a few minutes staring at nothing, Jonathan's eyes closed. He went quietly into his sleep, his head on my shoulder. That was the best thing for him, so it did not disturb him. In about 20 minutes he woke up and said to me quite cheerfully, "Why, Mina, I have been asleep. Oh, forgive me for being so rude. Come, we'll have a cup of tea somewhere." He had evidently forgotten all about the dark stranger, as in his illness he had forgotten all about what this episode had reminded him of. I don't like this lapsing into forgetfulness. It may make or continue some injury to the brain. I must not ask him for fear I shall do more harm than good. But I must somehow learn the facts of his journey abroad. Time has come, I fear, when I must open that parcel, know what is written. Oh, Jonathan, you will, I know, forgive me if I do wrong. But it is for your own dear sake. John Harker, the man who thinks the best place to practice tap dancing is a minefield. Later, a sad homecoming in every way. The house empty of the dear soul who was so good to us. Jonathan still pale and dizzy under a slight relapse of his malady, and now a telegram from Van Helsing, whoever he may be. "You'll be grieved to hear that Mrs. Westerner died 5 days ago, and that Lucy died the day before yesterday. They were both buried today. Oh, what a wealth of sorrow and in a few words. Poor Mrs. Westerna. Poor Lucy. Gone, never to return to us, and poor Arthur, to have lost such sweetness out of his life. God help us to bear our troubles. But yeah, John is a whole thing, honestly. Dr. Seward's diary. Hold up. Oh, this is a big chapter. 22nd of September. It's all over. Arthur has gone back to Ring and has taken Quincy Morris with him. A fine fellow is Quincy. I believe in my heart of hearts that he suffered as much about Lucy's death as any of us, but he bore himself through it like a moral Viking. If America can go on breeding men like that, she'll be a power in the world indeed. I'm sorry, I was taking psychic damage. I'm sorry, I was taking psychic damage. Jonathan's so lucky he's a protagonist, he wouldn't survive 10 minutes without his blood armor. Oh no, my... There we go. Van Helsing is lying down, having rest preparatory to his journey. He goes over to Amsterdam tonight. Says he returns tomorrow night. He only wants to make some arrangement, which can only be made personally. He is to stop with me then, if he can. He says he has work to do in London, which may take him some time. Poor old fellow. I fear that the strain of the past week has broken down even his iron strength. All the time of the burial he was, I could see, putting some terrible restraint on himself. As all over, we were staying beside Arthur, who, poor fellow, was speaking of his part in the operation where his blood had been transferred to Lucy's veins. I could see Van Helsing's face grow white and purple by turns. Arthur was saying that he felt since then as if the two had been really married, that she was his wife in the sight of God. None of us said a word of the other operations, and none of us ever shall. Arthur and Quincy went away to the station. Van Helsing and I came on here. The moment we were alone in the carriage, he gave way to a regular fit of hysterics. He has denied to me since that it was hysterics, and insisted it was only his sense of humor setting itself under very terrible conditions. He laughed till he cried, had to draw down the blinds lest anyone should see us and misjudge. And then he cried till he laughed again, and laughed and cried together, just as a woman does. I tried to be stern with him, as one is to a woman under the circumstances, but it had no effect. Men and women are so different in manifestations of nervous strength or weakness. Then when his face grew grave and stern again, I asked him why his mirth, why at such a time. His reply was in a way characteristic of him. It was logical and forceful and mysterious, and hopefully not any more sexist than this entire fucking paragraph. Oh my god. I just been taking psychic damage this entire paragraph. He said, "Ah, you don't comprehend, friend John. Do not think that I am sad, though I laugh. See, I cried even when the laugh did choke me. But no more think that I am all sorry when I cry. For the laugh he come, and just the same. Keep it always with you that laughter who knock at your door and say, 'May I come in?' is not true laughter. No, he is a king. And he come when and how he like. He has no person. He choose no time of suitability. He say, 'I am here, behold an example. I grieve my heart out for this sweet young girl. I give my blood for her, though I am old and worn. I give my time, my skill, my sleep. I let my other sufferers want so that she may have all. And yet I can laugh at her very grave. Laugh on the clay from the spade of the sexton drop upon her coffin, and say thud thud to my heart. Feel it send back the blood from my cheek. My heart bleed for that poor boy, that dear boy, so of age, of mine own boy. Had I been blessed that he lived, with his hair and eyes the same. There, you know now why I love him so. And yet when he say things that touch my husband heart to the quick, make my father heart yearn to him as to no other man, not even to you, friend John, for we are more level in experiences than father and son. Yet even at such a moment, King laugh, he come to me and shout and bellow in my ear. Here I am, till the blood come back, dance, and bring some of the sunshine that he carry with him to my cheek. Oh, friend John, it is a strange, sad world. A world full of miseries and woes and troubles. Yet when King Laugh come, he make them all dance to the tune he play. Bleeding hearts and dry bones of the churchyard, and tears that burn as they fall, all dance together to the music that he make with that smileless mouth of him. And believe me, friend John, that he is good to come and kind. Ah, we men and women are like ropes drawn tight with strain that pull us different ways. Then tears come, like the rain on the ropes. They brace us up, and perhaps the strain become too great, and we break. But King Laugh, he come like the sunshine, and he ease off the strain again, and we bear to go on with our labor, what it may be. I did not like to wound him by pretending not to see his idea. But as I did not understand the cause of his laughter, I asked him. As he answered, his face grew stern, and he said in quite a different tone, "Oh, it was the grim irony of it all. This so lovely lady garlanded with flowers, looked so fair as life. So one by one we wondered if she were truly dead. She lay in so fine a marble house, in that lonely churchyard, where rest so many of her kin, lay there with her mother who loved her, and whom she loved, and that sacred bell going toll, 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 so sad and slow. Those holy men with the white garments of the angel, pretending to read books, yet all the same their eyes never on the page, and all of us with the bowed head, and all for what? She is dead. So, is it not?" "Well, for the life of me, Professor," I said, "I can't see anything to laugh at in all that. My explanation makes a harder puzzle than before. But even if the burial service was comic, what about poor Art and his trouble? Why, his heart was simply breaking." "Just so. Say not the transfusion of his blood to her veins made her truly his bride." "Yes, and it was quite a sweet and comforting idea for him." "Quite so. But there is a difficulty, friend John. If so, then what about the others?" "Then the so sweet a maid is a polyandrist, and me, my poor wife dead to me, but alive by the church's law. Though no wits, all gone. You and I, who am faithful husband, this now no wife, am a bigamist." "I don't see where the joke comes in there either," I said. I did not feel particularly pleased with him for saying such things. He laid his hand on my arm and said, "Friend John, forgive me if I pain. I show not my feeling to others when it would wound, but only to you, my old friend, whom I can trust. You could have looked into my very heart then, when I want to laugh. If you could have done so when the laugh arrived, you could do so now, when King Laugh have pack up his crowd, and all that there is to him. He go far, far away from me, for a long, long time. And you would perhaps pity me the most of all." I was touched by the tenderness of his tone and asked, "Why?" "Because I know. And now we are all scattered. and for many a long day loneliness will sit over our roofs with brooding rings. Lucy lies in the tomb of her kin, a lordly death house in a lonely churchyard, away from teeming London, where the air is fresh and the sun rises over Hampstead Hill, where the wildflowers grow of their own accord. So I can finish this diary. God only knows if I shall ever begin another. If I do, or if I even open this one again, it'll be to deal with different people and different themes. But here at the end, where the romance of my life is told, I go back to take up the thread of my life work. I say sadly and without hope, Denise. The Westminster Gazette, 25th of September. A Hampstead mystery. The neighborhood of Hampstead is just as President exercised with a series of events, which seem to run on the lines parallel of those what was known as the writers of headlines as the Kensington Horror, or the Stabbing Woman, or the Woman in Black. During the past 2 or 3 days, several cases have occurred of young children straying from home and neglecting to return from their playing on the heath. In all these cases, the children were too young to give any properly intelligible account of themselves. The consensus of their excuses is that they have been with the Bloofer lady. It's always been late in the evening when they have been missed. On 2 occasions, the children have not been found until early the following morning. Generally supposed that in the neighborhood that the first child missed gave us his reason for being away, that a Bloofer lady asked him to come for a walk. That has picked up on the phrase and used it as an occasion served. This is the more natural, as the favorite game of the little ones at present is luring each other away by wiles. A correspondent writes us that to see some of the tiny thoughts pretending to be the Bloofer lady is supremely funny. Somewhat caricaturists might, he says, take a lesson in the irony of grotesque by comparing the reality and the picture. It is only in accordance with general principles of human nature that the Bloofer lady should be the popular role at these al fresco performances. Our correspondent naively says that even Ellen Terry could not be so winningly attractive as some of these grubby-faced little children pretend, and even imagine themselves to be. There is, however, a possibly serious side to this question. For some of the children, indeed all who have been missed at night, have been slightly torn or wounded in the throat. These wounds seem such as might be made by a rat or a small dog, although of not much importance individually, would tend to show that whatever animal inflicts them has a system and method of its own. The police of the division have been instructed to keep a sharp lookout for straying children, especially when very young, in and around Hampstead Heath, and for any stray dog which may be about. Well, Lucy immediately went to work. The Westminster Gazette, 25th of September, extra special. A Hampstead horror, another child injured. The Bloofer lady. We have just received intelligence that another child missed last night was only discovered late in the morning under a furze bush at the Shooter's Hill side of Hampstead Heath, which is perhaps less frequented than the other parts. It has the same tiny wound in the throat as been noticed in other cases. It was terribly weak, and looked quite emaciated. It too, when partially restored, had the common storyteller being lured away by the Bloofer lady. Bloofer. Bloomer? The fuck is Bloofer? Yeah, Bloofer. What the fuck is Bloofer? Blue Fair Lady me. Thank you. Thank you, DuckDuckGo. Child's mispronunciation of beautiful. That's a fucking stretch. Blue fur, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, I've heard many To be fair, if these are like children who are barely toddlers, maybe. However, it says that these children are on their own. And, like, I can't imagine, like, having, like, by five, you can pronounce beautiful, I would think. By five, I think you can pronounce beautiful. Well, like, Blue fur is definitely like 3-year-old pronunciation. I mean, I don't know. It's like the 1700s, so maybe. It was the 1700s, so maybe people are just letting their toddlers out of the house. It was the 1700s. Maybe people are just like, yeah, okay, I need to let out my 3-year-old for their job. I need to let my 3-year-old out for their job. They have to chimney sweep. Maybe that's it. If the 3-year-old gotta pay the bills, right? Everyone works in this house. Okay, I'm just gonna check and see how long this chapter is. Oh, another long one, okay. Oh, I'm just 4. That's no excuse. Okay, that's about generally the same length. Oh, I called in sick. You phones don't exist. You mean telegrammed in sick? Yeah. What are you sick with, child? You go back out there and you get those coppers. Dang it. Blue fur lady, come take me. They've got the consumption. The children return to the chimneys. The children yearn for the chimneys. I got germs. Oh, honey, germs aren't real. Oh, honey, germs aren't real. But the Greeks are dead, honey. Now you come with mommy while we go eat mummies this afternoon. You come with mommy, we have to go eat mummies this afternoon. The Victorians are weird fucking people. I'm pretty sure some Victorian disease were born from, you know, the mummy unwrapping parties. Now go do some coke and get back to work. Mommy has to take her opiate. Mommy has to take her opium. Sorry, I accidentally paused with my earbud. Chapter 14. Hey, have y'all heard of Final Fantasy 14 with its free trial that now extends to that has award-winning Heavensward and the critically acclaimed Stormblood up to level 70 now? Anyways, chapter 14, Mina Haruka's journal. (23rd of September). Dracula 14 online. 23rd of September. Jonathan is better after a bad night. I am so glad that he has plenty of work to do, that keeps his mind off the terrible things. And oh, I am rejoiced that he is not now weighed down but with the responsibility of his new position. Knew that he would be true to himself. And now, how proud I am to see my Jonathan rise into the height of his advancement, keeping pace in all ways with the duties that came upon him. He'll be away all day till late. They say he cannot lunch at home. My household work is done. So I shall take his foreign journal, and lock myself up in my room and read it. Sorry, I'm late to the lecture. Don't worry. Don't worry, you only missed, more Lucy dying. Lucy attacking children. Because, let's be real, who can blame her? Children are the real horrors. And now, Mina has actually learned that her bestie is dead. And now Mina gets to learn about Dracula. 24th of September. I hadn't the heart to write last night. That terrible record of Jonathan's upset me so. Poor dear, Larry must have suffered, whether it be true or only imagination. I wonder if there's any truth in it at all. Did he get his brain fever, then write all those terrible things? Or had he some cause for it all? I suppose I shall never know, for I dare not open the subject to him. And yet, that man we saw yesterday, he seemed quite certain of him. Poor fellow. I suppose it was the funeral that upset him and sent his mind back on some train of thought. He believes it all himself. And by hell on our wedding day, he said, unless some solemn duty come upon me to go back to the bitter hours, asleep or awake, matter sane. That there seems to be through it all some thread of continuity. That fearful Count was coming to London. If it should be, he came to London with his teeming millions. There may be a solemn duty. And if it come, we must not shrink from it. I shall be prepared. I shall get my typewriter this very hour and begin transcribing. Then we shall be ready for other eyes. If required. If it be wanted, then perhaps I am ready. Poor Jonathan may not be upset, for I can speak for him, never let him be troubled or worried with it all. If ever Jonathan quite gets over the nervousness, he may want to tell me of it all. I can ask him questions and find out things. See how I may comfort him. Letter Van Helsing to Mrs. Harker. 24th of September. Confident. Dear Madam, I pray you to pardon my writing, and I am so far a friend that I sent you sad news of Miss Lucy Westerner's death. By the kindness of Lord Godalming, I am empowered to read her her letters and papers, for I'm deeply concerned about certain matters vitally important. And then I find some letters from you, which show how great friends you were and how much you love her. Oh, Madam Mina, by that love, I implore you, help me. It's for others' good I ask, to redress great wrongs, and to live much in terrible troubles, that may be more great than you know. May it be that I see you. You can trust me. I'm a friend of Dr. John Seward and of Lord Godalming. That was Arthur of Miss Lucy. Must keep it private for the present from all. I shall come to Exeter to see you at once, if you tell me I am privileged to come, and where and when. I implore your pardon, madam. I have read your letters to poor Lucy, and know how good you are, and how your husband suffer. So I pray you, if it may be, enlighten him not, lest it may harm. Again your pardon and forgive me. Van Helsing. Telegram. Mrs. Harker to Van Helsing. 25th September. Come today, 10:15 train if you can catch it. Can see you anytime you call. Wilhelmina Harker. Jonathan seems like kind of guy who would burn out his retinas looking at Total Eclipse. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think he's that stupid, but that was like back in the day. Like, that was like when we were having like one of those... I want to say there's times in history where like science just takes a deep trowel before rising up again. Like, it's kind of like the economy. The economy rises and falls, except for like the past 2 fucking decades, but we're not gonna talk about that. I kind of feel like, the Victorian times were kind of like a mix of being good and bad science. Like, they probably forgot that looking at the eclipses bad. God, I want to fuck the economy. Rex moves. I'm not sure if anyone can get any pleasure from it at this point. I don't know, maybe we just need to hit the economy's prostate. I heard that's a good reset button. Like, sometimes a man just needs to have his reset button tapped a little. Sometimes a man just needs a good factory reset. Maybe that would fix the economy. Maybe, just maybe, instead of the economy fucking us, we should be fucking the economy. September. I cannot help but feeling terribly excited as the time draws near for the visit of Dr. Van Helsing. I somehow expect that it will throw some light upon Jonathan's sad experience. As he attended poor dear Lucy in her last illness, tell me all about her. As the reason of his coming is concerning Lucy and her sleepwalking, and not about Jonathan. Then I shall never know the real truth now. How silly I am. That awful journal gets a hold of my imagination and tinges everything with something of its own color. Of course it is about Lucy. That habit came back to the poor dear, and that awful night on the cliff must have made her ill. I had almost forgotten in my own affairs how ill she was afterwards. She must have told him of her sleepwalking adventure on the cliff, and that I knew all about it. Now he wants me to tell him what she knows, so that he may understand. Hope I did right not saying anything of it to Mrs. Westerna. I should never forgive myself if any act of mine, or even a negative one, brought harm upon dear poor Lucy. I hope, too, that Dr. Van Helsing will not blame me. I had so much trouble and anxiety of late that I feel I cannot bear any more at just present. I'm sure there's a term for that. Well, Willow just said, we should fuck the economy, pauses, and goes back into narrative voice like we didn't notice. Well, what do you want me to do? I just can't go off on a tangent. I have a book to read. Like, do you want me to tie the economy back into Dracula? I could probably do that. Dracula's rich and needs to be eaten. Eat the rich. Fuck the economy. Eat the rich, fuck the economy. Like, that part about economy wasn't in the book. New AO3 material about to drop after Professor finishes this stream. Reader X US economy. Tying Dracula to the economy? In this economy? Should make a game about this. Oh, economy coon. Oh, economy coon. I have to confess to you. Economy coon, I must confess. I suppose a cry does us all good at times. Clears the air as any other rain does. Perhaps it was reading the journal yesterday that upset me, and then Jonathan went away this morning to stay away from me a whole day and night. First time we've been apart since our marriage. Do hope the dear fellow will take care of himself, that nothing will occur to upset him. It's 2 o'clock and the doctor will be here soon now. I shall say nothing of Jonathan's journal unless he asks me. I'm so glad to have typewritten out my own journal, so that in case he asks about Lucy, I can hand it to him. I'll save much questioning. Monopoly. Wait. No, Monopoly fucks everyone. And leaves you in a daze. Drunk. Leaves you in a daze. Confused. Hating everyone. Monopoly is the hate fuck of the economy. Most of the economy is hate fucks, but Monopoly is a specified crime of hate fucking. Someone put that in a quote book or mug or something. Except for one person, they see nothing wrong with the system. Monopoly is the hate fuck of the economy. Vespa could put that as merch. Should I just sign up for like one of those shirt making sites and put Monopoly as the hate fuck of the economy? I know how to do text design, I think. One of those print by demand ones. Sure, go for it. He has come and gone. Oh, what a strange meeting. And how it all makes my head whirl round. I feel like one in a dream. Can it be all possible, or even a part of it? If I had not read Jonathan's journal first, I should have never accepted even a possibility. Poor, poor dear Jonathan. What he must have suffered. Please the good God. All this may not upset him again. I shall try to save him from it. But it may even be a consolation and a help to him. Terrible though it may be and awful in its consequences, know for certain that his eyes and ears and brain did not deceive him. That is all true. It may be that it is doubt which haunts him, that when the doubt is removed, no matter which, waking or dreaming, may prove the truth. He'll be more satisfied and better able to bear the shock. Dr. Van Helsing must be a good man as well, as a clever one if he is Arthur's friend, and Dr. Seward's. If they brought him all the way from Holland to look after Lucy. I feel, having seen him, that he is good and kind and of a noble nature. When he comes tomorrow, I shall ask him about Jonathan, and then, please God, all his sorrow and anxiety may lead to a good end. I used to think that I would like to practice interviewing. Jonathan's friend on the Exeter News told him that memory was everything in such work. And you must be able to put down exactly almost every word spoken, and if you had to refine some of it afterwards. Here was a rare interview. I shall record it verbatim. This is why I come to these streams, for such quality unhinged quotes as this. Gonna start a petition for Vesper to add a quote section in his Discord server for shit like this. Okay. I'll make a quote. I need to do some Discord upkeep anyway. Then we'll need to go back and find the best ones from the past. Good point. Go watch my VODs. Hold up. Oh no, watching more Vesper VODs. The horror. I need R for Monopoly's the hate fuck of the economy card. I just got done watching some of 11/22/63, speaking of going back to the past. Yeah, I have VODs for nearly everything except for just chatting in some art streams. There's some shitty games that suck ass. It's 2:30 when the knock came. I took my courage à deux mains and waited. In a few minutes, Mary opened the door and announced, "Dr. Van Helsing." I rose and bowed. He came towards me, a man of medium weight, strongly built, his shoulders set back over a broad, deep chest, and a neck well balanced on the trunk, as the head is on the neck. The poise of the head strikes one at once as indicative of thought and power. The head is noble, well-sized, broad, and large behind the ears. The face, clean-shaven, shows a hard, square chin and large, resolute, mobile mouth. A good-sized nose, rather straight, but with quick, sensitive nostrils that seem to broaden as the big, bushy brows come down and the mouth tightens. Forehead is broad and fine, rising at first almost straight, then sloping back above, 2 bumps or ridges wide apart. Such a forehead that the reddish hair cannot possibly tumble over it. Falls naturally back into the sides. Big, dark blue eyes are set widely apart, and are quick and tender or stern with the man's moods. He said to me, "Mrs. Harker, is it not?" I bowed assent. "That was Miss Mina Murray." Again I assented. "It's Mina Murray that I came to see that It is Mina Murray that I came to see. Hold on. Okay, it's these. All 3 of these lines are by Van Helsing, I think. 11/22/63. Except it's Chad going back to find Vesper's best quotes. Some of them are probably clipped. Okay, I'll just bookmark that there. Some of it's probably like... Some of it's probably in clips. I know some of those are definitely clipped. I should probably get more water while this break happens, when the break happens. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just chilling. I'm having quite a lot of fun. You know, we can't take it seriously half the time. Which is good. I think horror needs a little bit of tension relief. Horror needs something to relieve the tension. But I'm also just like... having quite a bit of fun. So it's gonna chase me tonight, and is it fuckable? Is a good one. Can Dracula make a cellar though? I will be right back. Water. Water, 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 water. I'm Biek. What if he's hot? What if he's hot? Dies immediately. Well, what is it? Tension relief or something to relieve the tension? Which is it? I'm dying to know. Oh, wait, let me see my... Going through my Discordo. Going through my Discordo. Oh, wait, I should probably move to just chatting. Okay, and... let's see here. How's my YouTube looking? Wait. There is a Snowpocalypse D&D chill stream on my YouTube algorithm. Like, what? I guess that's what I'm gonna be having tomorrow. Wait, what? I look away from my OBS for 2 seconds. Well, for 5 seconds. And Vampy smacks me up the head with a bat of subs. Just helping the economy. Okay, okay. We're helping the economy get fucked. I see. Oh wow, my eyes really went in a circle there. Hold on, can I do that again? Also, thank you, Vampy. You are too generous to me. I hope you guys are spending money on yourselves too, you know? Wait, what? Chef, you guys considering to give something off for Vampy's life? Wait, what is this? Wait, what? 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 I got the golden kappa? I got the golden kappa? Wait, what? What? Did we beat the economy? I guess we did. Do I get more because it's a golden kappa? Sing it like Charlie in the Chocolate. I got the golden kappa. I got the golden kappa. Wait, what? I got the golden kappa. Thank you, RX. All I did was update my sub. Your golden kappa. One of your 2 golden kappas was apparently for me, Chef. One of your 2 golden kappas was to be transferred to me at some point, so thank you. We now must give it. Now we must pay it forward. You get the golden kappa emote for 24 hours. Is randomly selected for 1 hype train at Twitch at a time. Oh man. Hello Twitch. Hello. I can't. Y'all always hit me, so in other words, we fucked the economy. Thank you, Vampy. Thank you, RX. Thank you, Ryuga. Y'all keeping me. Do we hate fuck it with reading rail? I think you mean reading Rainbow. We didn't just fuck the economy. We gangbanged it. Gangbang by Madonna. Gets supported bat. What is the golden kappa? So apparently, I think it's once every 24 hours. I think it's once every 24 hours someone is, a hype train is assigned on Twitch. Oh, the emo is the last 24 hours. Yeah. So, like, once in a blue moon, I'm not sure how often it's given out, but someone gets the hype train at just one at a time. Okay, so out of all the hype trains that are currently happening on Twitch, which is probably a lot, we are getting the golden kappa. So, I get to, and oh, I guess we have to raid it to someone now. We gotta show off the golden kappa. Well, we're not gonna do it right now. We still have, like, the rest of chapter 15, but still. I can't believe you guys do this to me. I'm just reading a book. I'm just reading Dracula. Okay. Thank you, guys. Yeah, y'all spoil me. If we wait this hype train, we're going to bust a kappa. Thank y'all. Seriously. I don't know. I love this. I love streaming, okay? And I hope to bring more people into the community, as long as they're like you guys, you know? I don't mean that, like, giving me a hype train once a week, but still, I hope I get guys to care about the community as much as you guys do. And hopefully we can, like, keep it like that. Get loved and supported. Fucking god, getting the... Out of all the hype trains in the entire world, I get the golden kappa. Okay, let me continue on. Let me continue onwards with reading Dracula. Sorry, I'm like full of emotions. But what does one do with it? You just show it off. It's just like luck. you just do this. Oh no, wait, that's my golden Yagu. That's my Yagu mount. My golden Yagu. Where would my golden kappa be? You know what, we'll worry about that later. Don't have it yet, soon. Pretend like you're important for 24 hours? Exactly. Bragging rights, yeah, it's basically a luck-based achievement. Alright, okay, I guess I'll wait for the hype train. I'm not even sure where a kappa is. Wait. Just at the very end of the hype train, whatever, thank you. Everyone open your chests. Choo choo. Oh, me and RX getting the same emote. Oh. Ooh, popcorn. I kind of like the popcorn mount, yeah. Choo choo. Golden kappa. Kappa. Yay. Thank you guys so much. I don't know what I'd do without you guys. I will stream forever. I will stream till the end of time, and then beyond. Cry, probably, yeah. I'd probably cry. I'm sorry, I'm always emotional. Oh my god. Why am I so emotional? So emotional. Guys, we have to read this book. I want a reality TV show about Vesper. That would be the most boring thing ever. We appreciate you, you goofball. Am I a goofball or am I a goof bat? I also want a Metwurst and some mustard. I actually had hot dogs for dinner. We need a Vesper anime, goof bat. We broke Vesper, we want chat. Okay, Vesper anime I could do though. I'd like that. I'd like a Vesper anime. Okay, let me drink. Vesper comic. I guess I need to get on some shit. Hold up. Oh yeah, this is a long ass chapter. We're in it till like 11:30 for this one. Mrs. Harker, is it not? I bowed assent. That was Miss Mina Murray. Again, I assented. It was Miss Mina Murray that I came to see. That was friend of poor dear Lucy Westerna. Madam Mina, it is on the account of the dead I come. If I may suggest something to get on, try Santa. I would say that as a burn, but you're probably right. A Vesper visual novel. Ooh. Ooh, maybe. As long as it doesn't get turned into a shitty anime like Dramatical Murder. I need it to be a near 1-for-1. Sir, I said, you could have no better claim on me than that you are a friend and helper of Lucy Westerna. I held out my hand, and he took it and said tenderly, "Oh, Madam Mina, I knew that the friend of that poor Lily girl must be good. But I had yet to learn." He finished his speech with a courtly bow. I asked him what it was that he wanted to see me about, so at once he began. "I have read your letters to Miss Lucy. Forgive me, but I had to begin to inquire somewhere, and there was none to ask. Know that you were with her at Whitby. She sometimes kept a diary. You need not look surprised, Madam Mina. It was begun after you had left, and was an imitation of you. In that diary she traces by inference certain things to her sleepwalking, which she puts down that you saved her. In great perplexity, then I come to you, ask you, out of your so much kindness, to tell me all of it that as you can remember." A Vesper visual novel idea is an awesome idea, but we can have MC make a cameo and have MC murder Marianne. I would draw sprites for a Vesper visual novel, aww. Not a shitty anime rep, but people might start making Rule 34 rules about it, though. Listen, I want that. I want that. He's all around the internet too, like, as far as I'm aware, I could be wrong, but as far as I'm aware, I do not have porn of me yet. As far as I'm aware, I do not have porn of me yet. I think there might be something in the works. I might have to ask Ryuga about that. Don't you have that one image? I have like this slight pinup of me with the sweater and the the me sitting on Ryuga's lap. I wouldn't outright call that porn. It's spicy, but I wouldn't call it porn. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that one! That's just friends. Going Rule 34, I once ran across a superhero MMO, a character, Mina, the daughter of Aphrodite and Brad from tech support. She's the Greek demigoddess of internet porn. Imagine having that as your domain. She's seen some shit, and she continues to see shit. Mina is Greek for Dada. Ooh, nice. But yeah, I have nothing that I would outright call porn. I have stuff that is spicy. But because Greeks love irony, Mina was asexual herself. Listen. Some of the best porn has been made and written by Arrow Ace people for some odd reason. I should be reading. I can tell you, I think, Dr. Van Helsing, all about it. Then you have good memory for facts, for details. It is not always so with young ladies. No, Doctor, but I wrote it down at the time. I can show it to you if you like. Oh, Madam Mina, I will be grateful if you will do me much favor. I cannot resist the temptation of mystifying him a bit. I suppose it is some of the taste of the original apple that remains still in our mouths. So I handed him the shorthand diary. He took it with a grateful bow and said, "May I read it?" If you wish, I answered as demurely as I could. He opened it, and for an instant his face fell. Then he stood up and bowed. "Oh, you so clever woman," he said. I knew long that Mr. Jonathan was a man of much thankfulness. But see his wife have all the good things. And will you not so much honor me, and so help me as to read it for me? Alas, I know not the shorthand. By this time my little joke was over, and I was almost ashamed. So I took the typewritten copy from my work basket and handed it to him. "Forgive me," I said. "I could not help it. I've been thinking that it was of dear Lucy that you wished to ask. And so that you might not have time to wait, not on my account. But because I know your time must be precious, I have written it out on the typewriter for you." He took it and his eyes glistened. "You are so good," he said. "And may I read it now? I may want to ask you some things when I have read." "By all means," I said. "Read over whilst I order lunch, then you can ask me questions whilst we eat." He bowed and settled himself in a chair with his back to the light, became absorbed in the papers whilst I went to see after lunch, chiefly in order that he might not be disturbed. When I came back, I found him walking hurriedly up and down the room, his face all ablaze with excitement. He rushed up to me and took me by both hands. "Oh, Madam Mina," he said, "how can I say what I owe to you? This paper is as sunshine, it opens the gate to me. I am dazed, I am dazzled with so much light, yet clouds roll in behind the light every time. But you cannot comprehend. Oh, but I am so grateful to you, you so clever woman, Madame." He said this very solemnly. "If ever Abraham Van Helsing can do anything for you or yours, I trust you will let me know. It will be a pleasure and delight if I may serve you as a friend. But all I have ever learned, all I can ever do, shall be for you and those you love. There'll be darknesses in life, and there are lights. You are one of the lights. You will have a happy life and a good life, and your husband will be blessed in you." "But doctor, you praise me so much, and you do not know me." "It is late. I need sleep. Going to bed. Good night, Rooney." "Night, night, RX. Good night. Sleep tight. Sweet dreams. And don't let the vampires bite. Or do. I don't judge." But please rest up. I know work's gonna be hard in the next few days. Colds are probably gonna be starting up, if not people just looking for necessities. Probably. Also, thank you again for subs. "Not know you. I who am old, and who have studied all my life, men and women. I who have made my specialty the brain, and all that belongs to him, and all that follow from him, have read your diary that you so goodly written for me, which breathes out truth in every line. I who have read your sweet letter to poor Lucy of your marriage and your trust. Not know you. Oh, Madam Mina, good women tell all their lives, and by day, and by hour, and by minute. Such things that angels can read. And we men who wish to know have us in us something of angels' eyes. Your husband is noble nature, and you are noble too, for you trust, and trust cannot be where there is mean nature. Your husband, tell me of him. Is he quite well? Is all that fever gone, and is he strong and hearty?" I saw here an opening to ask him about Jonathan, so I said, "He was almost recovered, but he has been greatly upset by Mr. Hawkins' death." He interrupted. "Oh yes, I know. I've read your last two letters." I went on. "I suppose this upset him, for when we were in town on Thursday last, he had a sort of shock." "A shock? And after a brain fever so soon, that was not good. What kind of shock was it?" "He thought he saw someone who recalled something terrible, something which had led to his brain fever. and here the whole thing seemed to overwhelm me in a rush. The pay for Jonathan, the horror which he experienced, the whole fearful mystery of his diary, and the fear that has been brooding over me ever since, all came in a tumult. I suppose I was hysterical, for I threw myself up on my knees, held my hands to him, and implored him to make my husband well again. He took my hands and raised me up, and made me sit on the sofa, sat by me, and held my hand in his, and said to me with oh such infinite sweetness, "My life is a barren and lonely one, and so full of work I have not had much time for friendships. Since I've been summoned here by my friend John Seward, I have known so many good people, and seen such nobility that I feel more than ever, it has grown with my advancing years, the loneliness of my life. Believe me, then, that I come here full of respect for you, and you have given me hope. Hope, not which I am seeking of, but that there are good women still left to make life happy. Good women whose lives and truths may make good lesson for the children that are to be. I'm glad that I may be here of some use to you. For if your husband suffer, he suffer within the range of my study and experience. I promise you that I will gladly do all that I can for him. All to make his life strong and manly, and your life a happy one. Now you must eat. You are overwrought and perhaps over anxious. Husband Jonathan would not like to see you so pale. And what he like not where he love, and is not to his good. Therefore for his sake you must eat and smile. Had told me all about Lucy, so now we shall not speak of it, lest it distress. I shall stay in Exeter tonight, but I want to think much over what you have told me. When I have thought, I will ask you questions, if I may. Then too, you will tell me of husband Jonathan's trouble so far as you can, but not yet. You must eat now. Afterwards, you shall tell me all. Sorry. Bones hurty. After lunch, when we went back to the drawing room, he said to me, "Now tell me all about him." I came to speaking to this great learned man, began to fear what he would think of me a weak fool, and Jonathan a madman. That journal is all so strange, and I hesitate to go on. He was so sweet and kind, and promised to help, and I trusted him, so I said, "Dr. Van Helsing, I want to tell you, so queer you must not laugh at me or my husband. I have been since yesterday in a sort of fever of doubt. You must be kind to me, and not think me foolish that I have even half believed some very strange things." He reassured me by his manner, as well as his words when he said, "Oh, my dear, if you only know how strange is the matter regarding which I am here, it is you who would laugh. I have learned not to think little of anyone's belief, no matter how strange it be. I have tried to keep an open mind. It is not the ordinary things of life that could close it, but the strange things, the extraordinary things, things that make one doubt if they may be mad or sane." Thank you 1,000 times. You've taken a weight off my mind. If you will let me, I shall give you a paper to read. It is long, but I have typewritten it out. I'll tell you my trouble and Jonathan's. It is the copy of his journal when abroad, and all that happened. I dare not say anything of it. You'll read for yourself and judge, and then when I see you perhaps you'll be very kind and tell me what you think. "I promise," he said as I gave him the papers. "I shall in the morning, so soon as I can, come to see you and your husband, if I may. Jonathan will be here at 11:30. You must come to lunch with us and see him then. If you could catch the quick 3:34 train, which will leave you at Paddington before 8. You're surprised at my knowledge of trains offhand. He does not know that I have made up all trains to and from Exeter, so that I may help Jonathan in case he is in a hurry." So I took the papers with him and went away. I sit here thinking, I don't know what. Letter, by hand, Van Helsing to Mrs. Harker. 25th of September, 6 o'clock. Dear Madame Mina, I have read your husband's so wonderful diary. You may sleep without doubt. Strange and terrible as it is true. I'll pledge my life on it. It may be worse for others, but for him and you there is no dread. He is a noble fellow, and let me tell you from experience of men, that one who would do so as he did in going down that well into that room, and going a second time, is not one to be injured in permanence by a shock. His brain is harder all right, this I swear, before I have even seen him, so be at rest. I shall have much to ask him of other things. I am blessed that today I come to see you. For I have learned all at once much, and again I am dazzled more than ever, and I must think. Yours most faithful, Abraham Van Helsing. Letter, Mrs. Harker to Van Helsing. 25th of September, 6:30 p.m. My dear Dr. Van Helsing, 1,000 thanks for your kind letter. Just taking a great weight off my mind, and yet, if it be true, what terrible things there are in the world. And what an awful thing if that man, that monster, be really in London. I fear to think, I have this moment, whilst writing, had a wire from Jonathan, saying that he leaves by the 6:25 tonight, from Launceston, and will be here at 10:18, so that I shall have no fear tonight. Will you therefore, instead of lunching with us, please come to breakfast at 8 o'clock? If this not be too early for you, you can get away, if you are in a hurry, by the 10:30 train, which will bring you to Paddington by 2:35. Do not answer this, as I shall take it that if I do not hear, you will come to breakfast. Believe me, your faithful and grateful friend, Mina Harker. Mina is like, you will see me this morning. Mina's like, fuck the plans. You're coming over this morning. It's more urgent. Mina's like, fuck this, come over now. Jonathan Harker's journal. Oh, we're back to Mr. What are warning signs? We're back to Mr. What is a red flag? Jonathan Harker's journal, 26th of September. Hold on, let me just... Okay, a little bit more. Jonathan Harker's journal, 26th of September. I thought never to write in this diary again, but the time has come. I got home last night, Mina had supper ready. When we had supper, she told me of Van Helsing's visit, and of her having given him the 2 diaries copied out, and how anxious she has been about me. She showed me in the doctor's letter that all I wrote down was true. It seems to have made a new man of me. It was the doubt as to the reality of the whole thing that knocked me over. I felt impotent, and in the dark, and distrustful. But now that I know, I'm not afraid, even of the Count. He has succeeded after all, then, in his design getting to London. And it was he I saw. He has got younger, and how. Van Helsing is the man to unmask him and hunt him out, if he is anything like what Mina says. We sat late and talked it all over. Mina is dressing. I shall call the hotel in a few minutes and bring him over. He was, I think, surprised to see me. I came into the room where he was and introduced myself. Took me by the shoulder and turned my face round to the light and said after a sharp scrutiny, "But Madame Mina told me you were ill, that you had a shock." It was so funny to hear my wife called Madame Mina by this kindly, strong-faced old man. I smiled and said, "I was ill. I have had a shock. But you have cured me already. And how?" "By your letter to Mina last night. I was in doubt, and everything took a hue of unreality. I did not know what to trust, even the evidence of my own senses. Not knowing what to trust, I did not know what to do, and so had only to keep on working in what had hitherto been the groove of my life. The groove ceased to fail me. The groove ceased to avail me. I mistrusted myself. Doctor, you don't know what it is to doubt everything, even yourself. No, you don't. You couldn't, with eyebrows like yours." He seemed pleased, and he laughed as he said, So, you are the physiognomist. I learn more here with each hour. I am with so much pleasure coming to you to breakfast, and oh, sir, you'll pardon praise for an old man, but you are blessed in your wife. I listened to him go on praising Mina for a day, so I simply nodded and stood silent. Me not having a good time at the disco. The groove ceased to avail me. You throw in the most Cusco voice ever. The groove ceased to avail me. You're throwing off my groove. I'm stretching again. She is one of God's women, fashioned by his own hand to show us men and other women that there is a heaven where we can enter, and that its light can be here on earth, so true, so sweet, so noble, so little an egoist, and that, let me tell you, is much in this age, so skeptical and selfish. And you, sir, have read all letters to poor Miss Lucy, and some of them speak of you, so I know you since some days from knowing of the others. But I've seen your true self since last night. You'll give me your hand, will you not? And let us be friends for all our lives. We shook hands, and he was so earnest and so kind that it made me quite choky. And now, he said, may I ask you for some more help? I have a great task to do. And at the beginning it is to know. You can help me here. Can you tell me what went before you're going to Transylvania? Later on I may ask for more help, and of a different kind, but at first this will do. Look here, sir, I said. Does what you have to do concern the Count? It does, he said solemnly. Then I'm with you heart and soul. As you go by the 10:30 train, you'll not have time to read them, but I shall get handle of papers. Take them with you and read them in the train. After breakfast I saw him to the station. When we were parting, he said, perhaps you will come to town if I send to you, and take Madam Mina too. We shall both come when you will, I said. I had got in the morning papers and the London papers of the previous night. While we were talking at the carriage window, waiting for the train to start, he was turning them over. His eyes suddenly seemed to catch something in one of them. The Westminster Gazette. I knew it by the color. He grew quite white. He heard something intently groaning to himself. Mein Gott, so soon, so soon. I do not think he remembered me at the moment. Just then the whistle blew, and the train moved off. This would call the man to himself, and he leaned out of the window and waved his hand, calling out, Love to Madam Mina. I shall write as so soon as ever I can. Hand-holding? So lewd. I can't believe this, right? Okay, now we're on the last bit. Back to Dr. Seward. Man, everything's happening September 26th. These men holding hands? Dracula by next? It's so sensual. Dr. Seward's diary. 26th of September. Really, there is no such thing as finality. Not since a week I said finis. And yet here I am starting fresh again, rather going on with the same record. Till this afternoon I had no cause to think of what is done. Renfield had become, to all intents, as sane as he ever was. Thought well ahead with his fly business. He had just started in the spider line, also. So he had not been of any trouble to me. I had a letter from Arthur written on Sunday, when I gather he is bearing wonderfully well. Quincy Morris is with him, and that is much of a help, for he himself is a bubbling well of good spirits. Quincy wrote me a line too, and from him I hear that Arthur is beginning to recover something of his old buoyancy. So to them, all my mind is at rest. As for myself, I was settling down to my work with the enthusiasm which I used to have for it. That I may fairly have said that the wound which poor Lucy left on me was becoming cicatrized? Whatever, it's a word. Everything in his house now reopened. And what is to be the end, God only knows. I have an idea that Van Helsing thinks he knows too, but he'll only let out enough at a time to whet curiosity. He went to Exeter yesterday and stayed there all night. Today he came back and almost bounded into the room at about 5:30 and thrust last night's Westminster Gazette into my hand. "What do you think of that?" he asked as he stood back and folded his arms. I looked over the paper, for I really did not know what he meant, but he took it from me and pointed out a paragraph about children being decoyed away at Hampstead. It did not convey much to me, till I reached a passage about where it describes small punctured wounds on their throats. An idea struck me and I looked up. "Well?" he said. "Like a scar healing, I think. Ah. It is like poor Lucy's. What do you make of it?" "Simply that there is some cause in common. Whatever it was that injured her has injured them." I did not quite understand his answer. "That is true indirectly, but not directly." "What do you mean, Professor?" I asked. I was a little inclined to take his seriousness lightly. For after all, 4 days of rest and freedom from burning, harrowing anxiety does help restore one's spirits. When I saw his face, it sobered me. Never, even in the midst of our despair about poor Lucy, had he looked more stern. Tell me, I said. "I can hazard no opinion. I do not know what to think. I have no data on which to found a conjecture." "Do you mean to tell me, friend John, there is no suspicion as to what poor Lucy died of? Not after all the hints given, not only by events, but by me? Of nervous prostration following great loss or waste of blood?" "And how was the blood lost or waste?" I shook my head. He stepped over and sat down beside me and went on. "You are a clever man, friend John. You reason well, and your wit is bold, but you are too prejudiced. You do not let your eyes see, nor your ears hear, and that which is outside your daily life is not of account to you. Do not think there are things which you cannot understand, yet which are. That some people see things that others cannot. But there are things, old and new, which must not be contemplated by men's eyes, because they know, or think they know, some things which other men have told them. But it is the fault of our science that wants to explain it all. And if it explain not, then it says there is nothing to explain. Yet we see around us every day the growth of new beliefs, which think themselves new, and which are yet but the old, which pretend to be young. Like the fine ladies at the opera. I suppose now you do not believe in corporeal transference? No? Nor in materialization? No. Nor in astral bodies? No. Nor in the reading of thought? No. Nor in hypnotism? Yes, I said. Charcot has proved that pretty well. He smiled as he went on. Then you are satisfied as to it, yes? Of course, then you understand how I act, and can follow the mind of the great Charcot. Last that he is no more. To the very soul of the patient that he influenced, no? Then, friend John, I am to take that you simply accept fact, and are satisfied to let from promise to conclusion be a blank. No? Then tell me. For I am a student of the brain. I accept hypnotism and reject the thought reading. Let me tell you, my friend, that there are things done today in electrical science which have been deemed unholy by the very men who discovered electricity, who would themselves not so long have been burned as wizards. There are always mysteries in life. Why was it that Methuselah lived 900 years, and old Parr 169? And yet that poor Lucy, with 4 men's blood in her poor veins, could not even live 1 day. But she had lived 1 more day. We could have saved her. Do you know all the mystery of life and death? Do you know the altogether of comparative anatomy can say wherefore to the qualities of brutes are in some men and not in others? Can you tell me why, when other spiders die, small and soon, that one great spider lived for centuries in the tower of the old Spanish church, and grew, till on descending, he could drink the oil of all the church lamps? Can you tell me why, in the pampas, and elsewhere, there are bats that come at night and open the veins of cattle and horses and suck dry their veins? How on some islands of the western seas there are bats which hang on the trees all day? Those who have seen describe as like giant nuts or pods, that when the sailors sleep on the deck, because that is hot, put down on them, and then in morning are found dead men. Why, as even Miss Lucy was. I can't believe these crimes are being... I have not been sucking the blood of sailors. I've been doing other sucking. Hold on, let me stretch. Bones hurty. Those men weren't dead. I mean, the rest of all liquid, sure. But not dead. Good God, Professor, I said, starting up. Do you mean to tell me that Lucy was bitten by such a bat? That such a thing is here in London, the 19th century? He waved his hand for silence and went on. Can you tell me why the tortoise lives more than generations of men? Why the elephant goes on and on till he have seen dynasties? Why the parrot never die only of bite of cat or dog or other complaint? Can you tell me why men believe in all ages and places that there are some few who live on always, if they be permitted? That there are men and women who cannot die. We all know because science has vouched for the fact. There have been toads shut up in rocks for thousands of years, shut in one so small hole that only hold him since the youth of the world. Can you tell me how the Indian fakir? Can you tell me how the Indian fakir can make himself to die, have been buried, have his grave sealed and corn sown on it, and the corn reaped and be cut and sown and reaped and cut again, and then men come and take away the unbroken seal, and there lie that Indian fakir, not dead, but that rise up and walk amongst them as before? Here I interrupted him. I was getting bewildered. He so crowded on my mind his list of nature's eccentricities and possible impossibilities that my imagination was getting fired. I had a dim idea that he was teaching me some lesson, as long ago he used to do in his study at Amsterdam. He used to tell me the thing, that I could have the object of thought in mind all the time. But now I was without this help, and yet I wanted to follow him, so I said, Professor, let me be your pet student again. Tell me the thesis, so that I may apply your knowledge as you go on. At present, I am going in my mind from one point to point as a madman and not a sane one follows an idea. I feel like a novice slumbering through a bog in a mist, jumping from one tussock to another, in the mere blind effort to move on without knowing where I am going. That is a good image, he said. Well, I shall tell you. My thesis is this. I want you to believe. To believe in what? To believe in things you cannot. Let me illustrate. I once heard of an American who so defied faith, that faculty which enables us to believe things which we know to be untrue. For one, I follow that man. He meant that we shall have an open mind, that not let a little bit of truth check the rush of the big truth, like a small rock does a railway truck. We get the small truth first. Good. We keep him, and we value him. But all the same, we must not let him think himself all the truth in the universe. Do you believe in magic? In a young girl's heart? Dying of blood loss and such? Do you believe in love after love? Do you believe in life after love? Do you believe in vampires? Then you want me to not let some previous conviction injure the receptivity of my mind with regard to some strange matter. Do I read your lesson all right? Ah, you are my favorite pupil still. It is worth to teach you. Now that you are willing to understand, you have taken the first step to understand. Think, then, that those small holes in children's throats are made by the same that made the hole Miss Lucy? I suppose so, he stood up and said solemnly. Then you are wrong. Would it were so, but alas, no, it is worse. Far, far worse. In God's name, Professor Van Helsing, what do you mean? I cried. He threw himself with a despairing gesture into a chair, placed his elbows on the table, covering his face with his hands as he spoke. They were made by Miss Lucy. Dun dun dun! Okay, we are at chapter 15, so I will just copy the hyperlink. Okay. I will just close this window. I mean, like, we already knew it was Miss Lucy. It's the foreshadowing was more of an anvil than a shadow. The foreshadowing was more of an anvil. Could we really call that a foreshadowing when it was an anvil being dropped upon our heads? But I'm really liking this so far. Now we're kind of like expanding. We're going back to Jonathan. However, everything still kind of centers around Lucy, which I quite enjoy. About as well as when I try to foreshadow in my way. Listen, I know writers who use subtlety and they're all cowards. As I say, I know writers who use subtlety and they're all cowards. But let me take a sip. So, like, we're kind of like already on the road to Dracula being unmasked as like a vampire. But I'm kind of wondering, when are we gonna get there? Like, we know how. It's probably going to be related to Van Helsing. I'm kind of excited to see Lucy again, though. I mean, we never got away from Lucy. Lucy's the main character. This is Lucy's anime. We are in... It's Lucy's book. We're all just living in it. This is Lucy's show. Wait, it's I Love Lucy. It's I Love Lucy, except it's not Lucille Ball, it's Lucy Westerna. The book title was not as catchy when Bomb called it Lucy. It's like, wait, Lucy ain't working. I need to call it something better. How about Dracula? What if I call it Dracula? I mean, he's a side character, but still. Because it is kind of like... Lucy, again, I was talking about earlier, Lucy is our, like, main vehicle for the events. Like, we're kind of, like, experiencing other events with other characters. But Lucy even beyond her death, is still the main vehicle. Lucy is still being the vehicular. Lucy is still the vehicular homicide. Lucy is still the main vehicle for the story's continuing. Like, even when she's dead, she doing shit. Girly Pop really said, alright, I'm a vampire now. I'm going to go start eating children. Which, you know, good on you, girl. Good on you. But I had an amazing time. We're always so far in the book. Hold up. We're at chapter 15 out of like 20-something chapters, so we're more than halfway through, I think? Or we're getting close to halfway through. I'd like to thank everyone for joining me tonight. I'm gonna see who is on. Okay, cause we have to raid, cause we have the golden kappa. Oh, mute tab. Okay, we have... Is Ace still on? Okay, we have Task, Ramses. We have Paladin. Okay, when? Okay, I think... Alright. Is that on? Because he's normally going for a bit longer. Okay. He actually has gone off. Okay. Okay, we shall raid. I raided friendly last week, I think, so... Oh wait, Pally... No wait, Pally is... Oh, okay, Pally's been on for 3 hours, so he might be ending soon. The bug tile... Oh, hold on, I already read that. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Who... I will send y'all to Kiro, because it's been a while since we raided Kiro. He's playing Octopath Traveler, so I've been, not raiding him, because I don't want to be spoiled for Octopath. You're on tomorrow for D&D? Not only am I on tomorrow, I will be on Tuesday, not for D&D though. I will be returning Tuesday for a special stream where I play the new Tavern Talk extended demo. I already announced this, but I want to say it again. Where everyone can get early backer links for anyone who wants to play the game. So, like, everyone can get their backer links from Kickstarter. And so, I'll make an official announcement in the Discord once I'm done photoshopping. I'll make an official announcement in the Discord when I'm finished with my photoshopping for the promo. But let's go raid Kiro. Golden Bat Raid. Get out your kappas. Where is your kappas? Golden Bat Raid. If you have a kappa, please use it. If not, we can just snooze that ad. We can just snooze that ad. Is it only for people who gave out subs? I thought it was for everyone who was like here. Only participants? Oh no. Yeah, it won't sub our 100 bits. Ah, okay. Sag. But okay, I'll see y'all tomorrow for Heroes of Heterodoxy. Bye bye.